Hey guys, so in today's video I wanted to talk to you about something that I was thinking about yesterday, and it has to do with the fact that I am a neuroscience major with a pre-med track, or on the pre-med track, and I would have never, in high school, I would have never pictured myself being a science major in college, which sounds kind of crazy if you know that you want to be in the medical field, you know that you want to be a doctor. But in case you guys didn't know, I didn't always know that I wanted to be a doctor. Originally, I had wanted to be a nurse. Basically, from the time I was in 6th grade, I wanted to be a nurse. And after working as a CNA for a while, I changed my mind and changed kind of my course career-wise. And so now I am on the pre-med track. Like I said, my actual major is neuroscience. But looking back at myself in high school and the kind of student that I was, I never would have pictured myself being a science major. And I will explain to you guys why that is. So I've talked about this in multiple videos that I have posted previously about the fact that I have a learning disability in math. And so freshman year, I had to take chemistry. Now, obviously I'm struggling with chemistry now, but I think it was even worse when I was a freshman because the teacher that I had for freshman chemistry was he didn't really present the material in a way that was very helpful for me to understand. And when I was a freshman, I did not have the guided study class that I had from sophomore year to senior year. Or through senior year, I should say. So with my IEP, which is an individualized education plan for somebody who has a learning disability, I didn't have access to guided study for freshman year, but I did from sophomore, junior, and senior year. So freshman year, I really struggled with chemistry and I loved it. But the math part of it is what I really struggled with, because whether you know this or not, there is a lot of math involved in chemistry. And that is why I struggle with my chemistry class now. But I never would have pictured myself, just based on the struggles that I had with the different science classes, I never would have pictured myself, being an actual science major and going through multiple versions of those high school classes now as I'm in college. Sophomore year, I took biology because that's what they had wanted us to take. And I almost failed. Well, I did fail technically. I think I got a D in biology sophomore year, which is crazy seeing that, I'm pre-med and I want to be a doctor. Biology, I failed in high school. But, I also didn't have the focus or the motivation that I have now. In high school, I kind of just slacked off. I did the bare minimum, if that makes sense. But now, now that I'm actually paying for these classes and I have this future career in my, vision on the horizon, I don't know where I was going with that. But now that I have that in my sights, I guess, I am definitely putting more effort into the coursework and trying to pass it. But yeah, I never would have pictured myself choosing voluntarily to take a science major in college. I always thought that I would be doing nursing, and I was accepted to nursing school right out of high school, but I chose not to go because I was dumb and I wanted my freedom. And yeah, that's a whole nother story, which I can talk about if you guys want to hear that too. But, I just think it's funny how life changes and how your goals and aspirations and dreams change over time. Like I said, I always pictured myself being a nurse, but obviously a doctor is not a nurse. Two totally separate things, even though we study a lot of the same things. It's just funny because seeing how much I bombed some of those science classes is just funny now, because I have 7 or 8 different biology classes that I have to take just to get my neuroscience degree. On top of all the neuroscience classes that I have to take, on top of all the chemistry classes I have to take. I don't have to take as many chemistry classes as I do biology and neuroscience classes, but there are at least 3 chemistry classes that I have to take, including the one that I'm taking now. Technically, I didn't have to take the one that I'm taking now, but I felt like I needed the refresher because it's kind of like an introductory chemistry class to kind of like, if it's been a while since you've been out of a chemistry class, my academic advisor suggested to take that one. So that's what I'm doing before I take the 2 that are required. So technically I don't have 3 required ones, but I will have taken 3 chemistry classes by the time I finish with my degree program. So it's just kind of funny looking back on high school and seeing like how I've changed as a student, how I've changed as a person, and never would I have thought that I'd be choosing to voluntarily do these classes with as much as I struggled with them during high school. It's just kind of funny. So I'm curious, are there any classes that you took as a high schooler? If you're in college, are there any classes that you took as a high schooler that you are voluntarily taking now that you never would have thought that you'd be taking in college? Or like classes that you never would have thought you'd be taking again willingly? I say that like school is torture, but some of these classes really suck. I'm not gonna lie. Some of these classes are very like difficult material to get through. They don't necessarily suck, because I think it's important that you know the information, especially if you're gonna go into a science-based career. But yeah. Anyways, those are my thoughts. I know I've kind of been rambling all over the place, but I just wanted to share, because yeah, I never pictured myself choosing to deal with these classes again and actually passing. Like, I have an A in my chemistry class. Like, it's been very hard, but I have a 99% or 99.13 or something like that % in my chemistry class right now. And you know, I think I passed my chemistry class freshman year, but it was like a C- or something like that. So it definitely wasn't an A, but yeah. Anyways, I just thought I'd share that with you guys. Let me know if there's any topics you'd like me to talk about in the future on my channel, and I would be glad to get something filmed for you. And with that being said, I will talk to you guys next time.